Good evening, everyone, and welcome to jagranjosh.com. Today, we have a very special guest on our show. She did her engineering from IIT Delhi, followed by an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, and is currently a senior associate with the Boston Consulting Group. She's also a CAT 100 percentiler and the All India topper among women in the CAT 2017. Let's find out from her what it takes to build a cat and to make it to the country's top B school.
Thank you, Parikshit. It's great to be here again after around 3 years when we did our first interview. So, just introducing myself, I am Chavi Gupta. I am an IIT Delhi and I am Ahmedabad alumna. And I was a CAT 100 percentiler in 2017. And I think overall I scored the third highest marks in India and was the topper in women as well. So after that, I went into IIM Ahmedabad, and in the 2 years, I started a little bit of career guidance slash mentoring through my own YouTube channel and other places like Instagram and LinkedIn, etc. And thankfully, I was able to, pursue this a little bit more during the lockdown. After that, of course, I have started working at the Boston Consulting Group, and it has been going hectic over there. Apart from all of this, I think I really like to make time for some workout, for some reading, and in general, interacting with people on a regular basis. So that is it about me mostly. And thank you again for inviting me over here.
As you're aware, this year the CAT has taken a different form and will be conducted by IIM Indore in 3 different sessions. What time management strategies would you like to suggest to the aspirants who will be appearing for the CAT this year?
Yeah, I think this year it, of course, has been a little different now. Just because of the pandemic, I think they want to maintain some kind of social distancing in the exam centers. And that would most likely be the reason why this step has been taken. But the way that it will impact these students is that they are not sure of the number of questions that will come in each section. Even though this is never disclosed per se in the CAT exam, but because it's the same time every year, everyone has an idea of what is going to happen. That, of course, is changing this year because your every section timeline is around 40 minutes only. So that means that the same number of questions might not come. That essentially means that the student needs to understand what would be the per question time with them. Okay, so for example, in say quantitative ability, you had 34 questions in 60 minutes. So you had around 1.5 to 2 minutes per question. Now, for example, it's 40 minutes. So if the total number of questions go down to 24 or something like that, then you will have something similar per question time. And that is what the student really has to get out of it. So in the starting of the paper, the instruction sheet should have the individual section, the number of questions that will be there. And it would be helpful if every student can at least identify the per question time, so that once they know that, they will have that in the back of their mind when they are solving all the questions. This is one major change, but I think, of course, it will change the strategy, the way you attempt the paper. But secondly, it is also kind of a mental test for you, okay, just for some mental stress. That basically that you have to overcome the hurdle of thinking that this is going to change, this is very new for me, etc. Everyone who is going to give the exam, at least in the morning slot, is going to face this, and it will be new for everyone. So my own advice is just give all the mocks that you are already giving, practice different number of questions here and there, and over there make a calculative estimate of the amount of time you will spend in all the different questions and just go ahead with it. I think that should really help in time management during the exam for everyone.
Please suggest some quick last minute tips, preferably section wise, which the candidates can keep in mind before appearing for the CAT.
See, CAT is an aptitude exam, and for anyone who is preparing for CAT knows that VARC and LRDI in specific take a long time to improve in general. So I hope everyone, all of the aspirants have taken some time to ensure that all of their sections have improved. In the last few days or just like 2 3 days that are left, the point is that do not pressurize yourself too much. Okay, just go ahead and revise a few concepts. Maybe revise the quantitative ability formula sheet if you have created one. Do a few quick questions from different topics. Maybe give a sectional test for each of VARC, LRDI, and quantitative ability, or just do one mock test. Do not pressurize yourself a lot. Do not just worry a lot based on your last mock marks and all of that, because that will not really matter. What matters is your final performance in the CAT exam. So the more that you pressurize yourself, stress yourself out, increase your anxiety, the lesser your performance will be in the final exam. So ensure all of these mental pressures you do not have on yourself, and you are able to perform as best as possible in the final exam. The way that it should go ideally is that on the exam day you should be following the same strategy that you have finalized over the last few months. Most likely ensure that you just get enough sleep on time. Ensure you are doing your mocks at the same slot when your final exam is at, because all of these different things ensure that your brain power is at its maximum when you are giving the final CAT exam. Okay, so that I think is the last minute tips from my side. Do not do a lot of content because that will not really matter a lot on the final day, right?
IIMS have released CAT exam day important do's and don'ts for the aspirants. Apart from these, can you suggest any other exam day strategies for the aspirants based on your past experience?
Few things that I feel should really help everyone is ensure that you reach your center on time, reach there on reporting time, and do not aim for any time later than that. Ensure you already know where it is, what kind of transport you're going to use, etc. etc. So just figure out all the logistics so that that is not something that is on your mind the day when you should only be focusing about the exam, right? So just ensure that all of this is already taken care of. Also, if you, as I said before, if you practice mocks on the same time slot as your final day exam, you will automatically adjust your biological clock to work at its best during that time. So that should really help. Once you reach there, identify your seat, just like have some kind of just observe the surrounding noise or lightnings, or something like that, right? So that you just get accustomed a lot due to any kind of external noise that is there. This is just because a lot of people do get distracted by any external noise that is there, and it just feels like it is just a random distraction and should not really happen, because you need to completely focus on your exam. So just get used to that particular noise or lights, etc., so that you are able to focus more on the exam. This is just a few things that I was able to identify. Of course, I did take a minute to just check that my entire computer hardware, my pen and everything is in order. Nothing is wrong with any of that. So these were the other things that I took care of. The only crux is that basically on the final exam day, your exam performance and your own performance should be the only thing on your mind. Even while you are attempting the exam, do not think in the back of your mind that, oh my god, I have not done enough questions, or I have wasted so much time, or I think that I could have done better, or all these things you can think after your exam is over, right? So just ensure that during the exam, your only purpose is to give your best in the exam. Do not have any ancillary thoughts before the exam or during the exam. Okay? So that is my tips to any of the students who are giving the exam this year.
You were 100 percentiler and the All India topper among girls in the CAT 2017. As a woman youth icon, what advice would you like to give to the female CAT aspirants?
So, if I may, I'll just digress a little bit from the topic. My point is that females in general are raised up to be a little bit insecure about themselves, or at least have lesser confidence than the general male counterparts. And even though I was not a person who faced this anyhow, I'm sure a lot of women who are watching this can totally relate with it. It just generally happens because people tend to boost or give more confidence or give more appreciation to boys who are there in the family. But even if this has happened with you, I hope not, but even if this has happened with you, just know that your own capabilities, your own skills, your own hard work is something that will take you forward. This is something I can teach to every single girl out there. You have tremendous potential, you have tremendous talent. It's only the point of doing that hard work and bringing that out to the world. Having confidence enough to ensure that the world out there would love the talent that you have, would love the confidence that you have. So now coming back to Kat, a lot of females think that there's so much male dominance in all of these different top B schools and different things like that, right? But I think the overall ratio in itself is changing. It's almost becoming like in my time it was 33% females, and I think it is just increasing every single year. So all the girls out there, ensure that you give your best, because it is possible to get to the top B school, to get to the best company that you want and get the best in life. Just keep on doing hard work, have confidence in yourself. And yeah, I think that is it. And good luck with everything that you guys are planning to do.
You have transitioned very successfully into the post MBA job role. Would you like to share something about your journey so far to guide the future MBA aspirants?
Yeah, of course. I think that a lot of people do have a lot of questions regarding what really happens after MBA. So see, MBA college is one thing that you can see as a door of opportunities, okay? Once you are there, you will have so many different opportunities in various career fields, for various case study competitions, for various, just building your personality in general. You will have a ton of opportunities out there. The way that it worked for me as well was that I just looked at the different career options that were there, saw what fit with me correctly, and what was something that I would like to do for at least a few years after my graduation. And that is how I chose the field of consulting. And it can be similar for everyone. A lot of people chose a different field in their summer internship just to explore another industry, and then chose to shift fields in the final placement time. And I think that is something that is very common. So do not think that in case you do not have a plan of what to do after MBA, you are someone who is just, weird and not normal. I think this is completely normal to not have a plan, to just go there and explore and see what all the world has to offer over there, and just decide then itself, just based on the courses or any experience that you get, that what is the final path you want to take out of the MBA college. And this was one of the learnings. Apart from that, MBA college kind of prepares you for the corporate world that is out there. It will make you work really hard. It will make you just, adjust your timelines, adjust the timings of your day, and a lot of different things. But I think that overall helps you later on in the corporate world, when sometimes your boundaries are really pushed and you are made to work a lot, or you're made to work on very difficult problems. But MBA definitely gives a lot of confidence and a lot of skills to people to ensure that they are capable of facing all of these issues or all of these situations. So that was my overall learning from MBA college, and I think this is what I thought of my entire MBA.
Last but not the least, the ongoing pandemic has caused significant academic disruption, and the students are struggling to acclimatize to this new normal. What has been your experience, and what coping strategies would you like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with what you have said. And it's not just students, right? Everyone has faced a lot of disruptions in their life in general. A few of the major issues that people have faced is something like loneliness, maybe a little bit depression based on uncertainty that is out there, because no one knows when everything will start or everything will actually get back to normal. The only point is that academics, at least the institutes, exam, etc., they have started a little bit, even though the model has totally shifted. So, just to feel a little bit more comfortable with everything that is there, ensure that you have quick catch ups with maybe friends, with new people. If you are entering a college, just have virtual catch ups with small people or groups of people. A lot of apps have also developed around this, and I think you can just find time or find a good time with your family or friends, even though it is virtual. Another thing that might help is just starting to pursue a hobby of your own. So for example, as I mentioned my YouTube channel earlier, I used to just spend like 1 hour, 2 hour every 2 weeks or so. But when lockdown happened and I think I got done with all the rest that I had to take, I started posting around 3 videos a week. And that really helped me gain traction. That really helped me learn a lot through my channel overall. And I think that that was something really fun to pursue. I'm struggling now to keep it a little more interactive, or at least as interactive. But of course, at that time, it was really great because it kept me engaged, it kept me motivated, it ensured I did not really turn very lazy as someone who has no work to do because my job joining was postponed. So for everyone who feels that you have more time in your hand, I think that you should definitely try to pursue a hobby. Maybe take up an online course, a certification, maybe take up a virtual internship that is there. Just ensure that anything that you can possibly do to increase your experience, to increase your skills, to increase your, just better your profile or your resume, even though that is not how you should think. The way you should think is to just increase your learnings and experience. So if there's any opportunity out there and you feel you have more time, definitely take that up. It will kind of, not really totally, but it will at least kind of compensate for the academic rigor lack that you are facing, really. But otherwise, just ensure that you are safe. Do not feel that you are the only one who's feeling confused. The world is really confused at this moment. So just keep getting in touch with people and enjoy your hobby during this time. That is all I would say.
Shavi, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today. I'm sure our viewers will find much value in the information that you've shared with them. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors and hope to see you sometime again on jagranjosh.com.
Thank you so much, Parikshit, again. I think it was great talking to you and an amazing conversation we had. I really enjoyed this yet again. And of course, I'll see you soon whenever. Bye bye. Take care as well.